You ready?
Thanks for tuning in to another episode of Brewery. It's where we tell the stories behind your favorite beer. This is Sound Guy Ryan, and joining me, as always, is Erica and Matt.
Hey, hey, hey. How's
Hey,
everyone?
hey.
Hey. Thanks, everyone, for tuning in.
Yeah,
We had an awesome episode last week, didn't we?
we did.
It was really fun.
It was really fun.
Ryan, who do we have lined up this week?
We got WHYM Brewing all the way in Hampton, New Hampshire.
That's right, Hampton, New Hampshire.
Not Hampton Falls.
Not Hampton
not
Falls.
Northampton.
Not
Not
Northampton.
Hampton Beach. Hampton.
I enjoyed this one because not only did we drink a lot of beer,
We ate some food.
And we had some cocktails.
Oh,
Jinx, you owe me
yeah.
a cocktail, Ryan. It's been a busy week for us, Ryan, finally.
Finally.
I am graduating school. I'm going to get my big master's degree.
I mean, I'm
His
pretty
big boy
proud.
degree.
I'm pretty proud of Ryan. He did not get a 4.0.
I did not
He
get
got
a 4.0.
3.96.
3.96.
Who knows
I know.
what happened to that .04?
Do you think his professors know I edited his thesis?
And they're like,
You
Screw
read
this.
my thesis.
You're right. I read it. But I
a
gave
big
it the
difference.
I gave it the stamp of approval, the brewer's stamp of
Yes.
approval,
You did.
yes.
and that means something in the academia world. I think.
Probably. I would assume so. I would want it to.
Would you say that your thesis was fueled by any beer in particular?
Oh.
Ooh.
Besides Budweiser.
Oh, really?
Yeah, really.
Boo. Like
Honestly,
drinking Nightlight.
Sylvaticus. I took a lot of breaks at Sylvaticus and True North.
You did
I was like, you know what? I'm going to take a thesis break. And I would go to one of those breweries.
a thesis break.
A thesis break.
You won't have that excuse any longer.
I
but,
won't. I'll just have to go there to drink, I guess.
Yeah, this is my drinking break.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's beer o'clock.
yeah. Well, Ryan, congratulations. It's awesome. It's awesome to have you back full times. And you
Definitely. We missed you.
know, we couldn't have done the podcast without our friend Jazz at Small Pond Studios. So thank you, Jazz, for doing that. And if you are a local or national artist or whatever, and you need some recording help, hit up our man Jazz at Small Pond Studios. The link is always in our description below. And check them out because they have some amazing services. And if you like the way our podcast sounds and you want your podcast to sound just as good as ours,
Then there you go.
Small Pond Studios is the
Pond
home for that. But we have been drinking a lot of great beer.
Always.
Always. I see Ryan has a...
I have a Merge Ahead, which is the new Rockport and Wandering Soul collaboration.
Woo.
Collaboration beers have been crushing it.
Crushing
Yeah.
it. Yeah. No, it's for sure.
Yeah. This weekend, I drank a lot of mint juleps. It was Mother's Day. And a mint julep just sounded right to me. So I didn't particularly drink any beer, but I had a lot of mixed cocktails.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with that.
My sister got this emerald gin, which is purple. It's beautiful. And you might have seen it in our Instagram post with me and Ryan.
Yes.
But
That was a thesis break, too.
yeah, I am certainly getting into some craft cocktails just because I love
Fancy.
the nuance of different flavors. And you know what? Beer still does it for me. Don't get me wrong. But sometimes
You want to be a fancy boy?
I want to be a fancy boy. You're right. But other than that, I am on the lookout for Stamos on drums and guitar. This is a Mass Landing and Vitamin C collaboration.
Ooh. Okay.
And those who know me know I love Full House, specifically John Stamos. So yeah, I'm looking for that beer. I know our friends down at Cappy's Peabody has it right now, and I'm hoping I can get my hands on it before it's too late.
Nice.
Another collab beer, though.
Yeah. No. Yeah, can't go wrong.
Erica, what about yourself? What have you been drinking?
Oh, well, I finally hit back my old friend, Brado. It's been a while. I haven't been there in a
Hello,
while.
darkness, my
Yes.
friend. Yeah.
Exactly. So I had a couple of their beers. I had their half-assed Resolution, which is a great super low alcohol beer.
Yeah.
Highly recommend. And they had their After Dark, which is their brown ale. After Dark number 2, I should say. It's like
Number 2.
Yeah, it's going to be a, what do you call that?
It's like a pilot series. It's a series.
Yeah, there
of
you go. It's a
beers.
series
Yeah,
beer.
yeah.
Words.
Words. Were you part of their food truck this weekend?
Yes. So you can find me every Friday on the Esplanade.
On the Esplanade.
Oh, yeah. Working the Brado food truck.
Oh my God, the food looks so good last week.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It is good. Highly recommend. And honestly, it's such a beautiful location. I am super excited to be there all summer because the weather's going to be fantastic.
Or it's gonna be really hot.
No, the Esplanade. It's gonna be wonderful.
Oh, you're right. The Esplanade is
Got a nice little breeze.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
That's
it's gonna
right.
be real nice. So
Yeah.
cool.
So what else is going on? Anything in the world of Pink Boots?
Yeah, so we're working on potentially doing a outdoor in-person gathering.
Oh, that'd be
There's a link in all of Pink Boots Boston's social medias that you can kind of put your 2 cents in and how you feel about that. But I'm really hoping for it. I think we're pretty much all vaccinated at this point, being in the industry. So I think it should be cool.
Cheers to that.
Yeah, I'm really hoping on it.
Yeah. So we had the opportunity to interview some breweries across the country. If you have a brewery in mind and you haven't shared it on our social medias at Brewery, it's across all platforms,
Do it.
please let us know because we have a goal of hitting up all 50 states with a brewery from there. I know we have some pretty cool ones that we haven't announced yet.
We do.
Which I was actually surprised that we got some of these states off the list earlier than later. But
True.
Hey, whatever.
Whatever.
That's how things happen here at Brew
Yeah.
Roots. But yes, we are excited to do that. And also, like, if we have not hit up a brewery in Massachusetts that you want us to do, we know pretty much which ones we haven't hit up. But if there's one that like isn't on our radar, please send us an email. Let us know. Send us a DM. And yes, we know we have been called out on social media. We need to go to Rhode Island
And Connecticut.
We
know.
will be there. I promise you.
That is in the works.
I swear to you, and I promise that they will be in-person interviews.
They are. I have made lists of where we need to go and what we need to do. It's just a matter of reaching out and scheduling it. So.
And I know Lee Lord's
It's
listening.
happening.
We want to go to Narragansett, so just let us go and we can hang out there. I'm so excited because I saw on their road. I am in a couple of Facebook pages.
Oh, are you
for better
now?
or worse? Because sometimes those groups can be a little toxic.
Indeed.
And I don't usually toss my 2 cents in, but I did toss my 2 cents in because someone saw a double IPA from Narragansett.
Yeah.
And I was like, yo, Narragansett's the real fucking deal because our homie, Lee Lord, former brewer at Cambridge Brewing Company, is a fucking badass. And she brews some really good beers.
Oh, yeah.
She's the head brewer at Narragansett.
Fuck yeah.
And she knows what she's doing. So you're going to see some really good beers out of Narragansett Brewing.
Yeah, definitely stay tuned because it's only going to get better. I mean, it's already amazing, but it's just going to be even more amazing.
And believe it or not, we did not get paid for that advertisement.
Yeah.
That was just like...
That was just on the cuff.
Organic.
Just, organic.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think we're going to get to the interview. We have WHYM in Hampton, New Hampshire. Not Northampton, not Hampton Falls.
Hampton
Proctor.
Hampton Proctor.
Proper. Not
I know.
Proctor, proper.
I know, but you said Proctor, so
I
I just
know.
was going to say...
Let's just make a joke about it. Yeah.
I liked it.
Spaghetti about it.
Spaghetti about it, as we say here. So, Ryan, why don't you cue up that audio, hit the little play button for people out there in podcast land, and let's take it away. Cheers.
Cheers.
Erica and Sound Guy Ryan. We are here in Hampton, proper Hampton. Not
Indeed.
south, not north, and
Right
certainly
smack
not
dab
Hampton
in the
Falls.
middle.
Ryan made me say that. He paid me to say that.
Yes.
So if you know by that location, and you probably go into Yelp and you write brewery, you'll know what brewery we're at, and pub. Where are we at, Erica?
WHYM.
Are we saying that correctly?
Yes.
Yeah,
Nice.
yeah.
Nailed it.
You know, before we get in introducing, my dad was like, he goes up to Lago's Ice Cream. I don't know if you guys are familiar with Lago's Ice Cream, and he's like, Matt, there's a new brewery open. I'm like, Frank, I know. Come on, Dad.
Frank.
I know. You don't
Frank,
think I know
we know.
this? He's like, why haven't you interviewed them yet? And I said, Dad, a time and a place. Come on, time and a place. He knows this. And we've been in contact with you to get on the brewery. But
Yeah.
I'm curious, WHYM, the name. Just before we introduce yourself, why are you named WHYM?
Yeah, so it stands for water, hops, yeast, and malt.
Oh,
there
that
we
makes
go.
sense.
Yeah, your
Cool.
four basic ingredients of any well-crafted beer. You know, when we came up with the name, it was just it was something that fit. Actually, it was Matt's brother that came up with the name back in 2012 or so.
Congrats.
Out
Great
on
job.
a run.
Yeah.
And it just stuck. There was a few different things, but you know, that was it. And funny enough, like we had a list of names that ended up, you know, there's a bunch of places that use those names.
Already,
So it's
yeah.
like, oh, they were actually good names too. So we had a great list of names, but I think WHYM was it, man.
Yeah.
Nice.
So
Does it have a double meaning? Like you did this on a whim, or like no?
no, it never really.
Just wanna make sure.
Matt,
Yeah.
no.
No, it means water,
Never
hops,
on a
yeast,
whim.
and malt. It
Intentional.
does, it does depending on how you the font read the same thing forward and backwards. So
Oh, that's right.
Good
Yeah, I
point.
get what
Good
you're
point.
saying. Yeah, depending
Cool.
that's pretty cool.
Upside down.
What's that called?
Upside up.
An anagram? No.
Yes.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah, something like that.
Upside down anagram.
Upside down. anagram.
Okay. Cool.
There you
Thanks,
go.
Ryan.
You're welcome.
Actually, that's a palindrome.
Palindrome.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bob.
Someone
Thank
paid
you,
attention in English class.
I did.
Bob for 100.
So we always start our podcast typically with asking our guests their role at the brewery and their first memory of beer. So take it away, gentlemen.
My name is Matthew Barrett. I'm the brewer here, actually. So my first experience with beer, craft beer, are we talking? Or
It could be anything.
could be anything? Well,
Whatever
I
story
mean,
you feel comfortable telling that your parents won't be disappointed.
Yeah. They can't get it anymore.
Yeah.
I guess it had to be like, I want to say I was like probably 7 or 8 years old, and my dad left a Budweiser down, and I ran over to it and grabbed the sip and spit it out instantly because I thought it was disgusting. But
Well, that's good to hear you didn't chug it down.
Yeah.
That's solid.
That would have been
Yeah,
a little
yeah.
concerning.
and for a while I thought beer tasted like that. I thought that's how all beer tasted. But I'd say the first time I really got into beer, I was probably around 21, 22. Trip to Portland, went to Allagash.
Yeah.
This was
They know what they're doing. Up
yeah,
there.
yeah. And it was before their massive upgrade, so it was their original brewery, and tasting the beers there, it was like nothing else I had ever tasted, because it was before that, it was Coronas, Bud Lights,
It was before
Budweiser.
there was like
A
15
slight
breweries on that
difference.
one stretch.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I think that was my gateway into brewing. I started home brewing shortly thereafter. I've been home brewing since I was 22 years old.
Awesome.
And this has always been a dream of mine. Before this, I brewed for Great Rhythm. I brewed for Moat Mountain.
Cool.
Prior to that, and this is a dream come true for me.
Yeah.
It's been a long time coming, but it's awesome. It's great.
Yeah.
Nice.
All right. Yeah. I'm not sure what I do here. I'm here today,
That's cool.
No, I founded the company back in 2013. My wife and I, we lived in Portland, Maine at the time. We're from New Hampshire, moved to Portland. At that time, I worked for Walmart Logistics, and I worked as a manager for Walmart. And craft beer started to blow up, and I loved the community behind it, especially in Portland, Maine, Navarre Res, Ebenezer's Pub. So I kind of started moving out of being interested in working in global logistics. Just it was the recession, right?
It sounds sexier than it actually is.
Yeah, it was, So I was excited to do something different, and I really loved the community behind craft beer. I loved the idea of going places and having guys in, Corollas and Porsches having conversations about what they're drinking. Oh, what are you having? It kind of split. I saw this, breakdown of, generations and classes with craft beer. So I really loved it, and there was nothing like this happening in New Hampshire. So
Especially southern New Hampshire.
yeah. And so so I went to, if you guys are familiar with Ebenezer's, they had a position open in at the Lions Pride in Brunswick, which was their sister company. And I went to Chris and Jen Lively and was like, hey, I really want to do something like this in New Hampshire. And I know that we don't have the same type of distribution and stuff like that, but they pioneered that happening in Maine. So I found it an opportunity to learn and kind of crash course myself through the restaurant industry. And they took me on to do that. And they gave me an amazing opportunity to learn a lot fast. And that was in 2010.
Wow. So kind of before the craft beer, right at the beginning of the craft beer kind of boom.
Yeah.
Again, resurgence. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Good for you to see that kind of like writing on the wall at that time.
yeah. And I don't even know, maybe I recognized it, but maybe I was also just having fun, and
Yeah.
I was just chasing, and it, a
Something
lifestyle
other
that
than
I would
Walmart.
enjoy. Yeah. So So yeah, so that's how. And then we came home. You know, we came back to the seacoast and we did it. And I did a crash course startup with Cornerstone in Maine when they opened. If you guys are familiar with them, they're awesome. They opened a place in Portsmouth as well. So I got some startup experience under my belt, and then we went forward and did that.
Yeah.
So that's how I ended up in craft beer, and you know, my first experience with it is probably Dogfish Head Midas Touch. You know, I've always been into the more not mainstream beers. I've always had an affinity for things that are unique, so it drew me to that anyways. But once I had that beer, I was like, wow, there's something different here. You know, I can experience things.
Yeah.
And then I did then I became a Chalice member at Novare, and that gave me the opportunity to, like, I don't know, I felt like I traveled the world through the culture of beer. You know, you're forced to drink things that you would not choose to.
Great.
Yeah.
So that's
It opened your palate.
yeah.
Excellent.
I was working at a office job for about 35 years
Yeah.
and was thinking about what I was going to do in retirement.
Man, you went into the busy business. You went for retirement.
Yeah, this is quite the
Most people like
retirement,
want to like go
right?
to like Florida and like kick it up, and you wanted to like get in like the hardest working industry.
Well, for a little digression, I always used to tell my kids, do what you love, figure out what that is, and then you never have to go to work
Right.
because you're doing what you love. So about 2008, I met my partner, and she had grown up in Vienna and in Munich. And her parents used to keep cases of beer in their foyer.
Oh my gosh.
So you could say that she was enculturated and just really liked beer. And so she introduced me to craft beer, as did my son, who acquired that taste while he was in college. For myself, my first experience was beer was, you know, kind of like Matt's, about 15, 16 years old, and somebody had a fake ID, and, you know, we ended up with like 17 cases of Miller at a big party and built a beer tower. And my old man showed up at 3 a.m. looking for me. And
Yeah.
Whoops.
yeah, that's why I went away to school up here in New Hampshire.
Yeah.
Right.
You're sent away. Yeah.
So, but anyway, back in 2008, you know, starting to get into beer. And when I get into something, I really get into it. And my wife said, you know, hey, you know, you're really looking like you would like an interesting experience. And she gave me for a birthday present a home brewing lesson at Barleycorns
Oh, cool.
down in Mass.
Yeah.
And brewed a couple of beers off of that. And then I said, And then I upgraded with a keg system, you know, with the burner thing, and was trying to brew on that, and realized I couldn't control any of the parameters for the recipes. It was like hit or miss. Like, this is good beer, this is hogwash.
Yeah.
So I researched it a little more and found the electric brewery and spent a year outfitting a whole kit.
Nice.
At the same time, I happened to start following Alex on Facebook.
Wow.
Even before they opened, I would see the build, you know, the build out of the restaurant and how it progressed, and then was excited when they opened and became a regular customer. All the while looking towards retirement, because I really was not fond of sitting at a desk for 8 hours a day. So when I retired, I was talking to Alex, and I said, you know, I'm going to open up a little tap room. And he suggested, hey, why don't we look together? And one thing led to another, because Alex was up in Portsmouth at the time. WHYM was located there. And this opportunity came, and it just fit.
Yeah.
It was a great upgrade for WHYM. It was a chance to get into having participated in a craft beer business.
Yeah.
For the first 6 months, we're brewing on my homebrew kit.
Yeah.
And poor Matt was doing his San Castiglione imitation of living here at the brewery
Ooh.
and brewing beer around the clock.
It wasn't that bad.
On a half barrel system to
Yeah.
try to keep the tap lines going.
Wow.
And but as far as my role here, I'm just the guy in the back room.
Yeah.
You're just the guy.
I'm down here in the basement.
Yeah, but you're enjoying life.
Yeah.
I can tell.
Some people
Kinda
think
like an
he's
office
my father
manager,
because
right?
we have the same haircut.
Well, I was going to
Ooh,
ask. I was going to
yeah.
ask, were any of you guys related? But it turns out no.
No.
So
No, it was the beer.
Yeah.
The beer did it.
the question is what year was WHYM created, and where was the original? You said the original location was Portsmouth.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Portsmouth. Yeah, 2013.
Wow.
Nice.
So you guys are going into 8 years of business.
8 years. Yeah.
Wow. And was the original plan to always have it be a brewery first, or?
Yeah. I never had any. I never felt like I should rush it. You know, I thought it was most important for us to build a community of people who trust us first.
Yeah.
You know, and then do it right. You know, there's so much growth and so many people rushing it, and the industry moves really fast. So it's easy to say like, hey, let's get right on the train and do it. But our approach is a little bit more, let's observe and see what the best plan, the most sustainable route is. And I really think that that's what we've done here.
So what did WHYM start as?
It started as, its original name was WHYM Craft Beer Cafe. The original concept was small plate foods with a strong focus on quality beer.
From around the area?
Right? From around the world.
Yep.
We, our philosophy has always been, better, just better, choose the best thing that you can, that you're most proud of. It's like, hey, if I would not feel 100% comfortable selling it to my grandmother, it's gone. It's gone. It's just not what we do.
Yeah.
And so I think that was the basis of it, and naturally the progression would be moving into brewing as well. And as if you took a look at our draft list, it's still heavily guest beers, and it always will be, because we have a huge appreciation for our friends and colleagues and the other talent, and we enjoy that. So we don't want, we want to keep that here too. We want to have our own great products to show people what we do and what we think is, quality, alongside our peers as well.
Yeah. So I want to get into why this was a dream come true for Matt, but we have to go to a word from our sponsors first. So we're going to take that into the next area. Take it away, Ryan.
Did you know that your favorite Massachusetts breweries use hops from a local family-owned hop farm right here in Massachusetts?
Our friends over at 4 Star Farms are there for you whether you're a commercial brewery or a small batch home brewer.
Make sure to head over to their website today and get your hands on some of the best and freshest hops available locally. Cheers.
At our local homebrew shop, Beer and Wine Hobby, you can get everything you need to make beer, wine, cider, cheese, and more. Not sure where to start? They have knowledgeable staff there to help. Beer and Wine Hobby is family-owned and located in Danvers, Massachusetts. Visit their website, beer-wine.com, and use our promo code BREWROOTS for 10% off your online order today.
Shirts on Tap is the box subscription service where you can get some of the dopest brewery t-shirts out there. I'm talking breweries from Dallas, San Diego, and even our home area of New England. And you might ask, how do I get my hands on some? To get your first box for $5, click the link below in our description, or head on over to our website, brewroots.com. Remember, drink better beer, wear better shirts. All right, so we're back. Thank you to our amazing sponsors. So Matt, you mentioned earlier you kind of cut your teeth at Moat and Great Rhythm, and you said that coming to WHYM was kind of a dream come true situation for you. Why is that?
Well, I think a lot of it's because I've wanted it for so long. And back in 2017, I started coming up with a business plan and writing things down, and I wanted to open a brewery. I remember coming to Alex's house one day. I don't know what it was for. Alex and I have been friends forever. I've known him since high school.
We're family.
Yeah,
we're all family.
We are
But
family.
Matt's like,
Yeah,
we're blood. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. But I came over one day. I want to say it was early 2017, and I told Alex, I was like, "Hey, I want to open a brewery." I was working from Oak Mountain, and I started working there because I knew if I was going to open a brewery, I needed to get some experience because I didn't want to go from home brewer to professional brewer, because I've seen that story play out, and sometimes it's not so good. And I learned a lot. And I learned that, maybe my beer wasn't as good as I thought it was.
Yeah.
Humbles you.
And it turns out, friends will tell you it's good because it's free.
Right.
But yeah, so that day at Alex's house, I told him, I said, "Hey, I want to open a brewery." And he was kind of on the same track with WHYM. And we started getting together every Monday. It was I had Mondays off. He had Mondays off. I would drive down. I was living in Wakefield, New Hampshire at the time, which is about an hour north.
Yep.
And so I drive down here every Monday, and we got together and we were working on a business plan. And we
And WHYM was still in Portland, Portsmouth at that point.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
And we things started moving, and we had we looked at a few pieces of property, and they weren't right. And then that's when Bob kind of came into the play. I know, and we had talked to him about it, and we knew he was he wanted to open up a small brewery, and I think it was.
Yeah, I was that home brewer who thought my beers tasted really good. And now Matt knows exactly why that is.
Yeah.
But Bob was a great resource because, well, he's much smarter than Alex and I.
pretty much.
Wiser.
Wisdom.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes.
Well, it's a great opportunity for us too. There's things that you can self-teach yourself, and you can go to school, but there's no replacement for experience, and
Yeah, and the three of us,
it's a great fit.
Yeah, definitely. And the three of us had a lot of energy, and we wanted to do it. And it just, combining forces. I think we were at a New Hampshire Brewers conference when we all kind of met together, and we were all there. Alex and I went. Bob went separately, but we had a good conversation there, and then we went. I think from there, the three of us went to go look at a piece of property, and that property fell through. It just didn't work out, and while we were looking, after that fell through, this came up, and it fit the bill.
Yeah. And by this, you mean the location?
This location here, yeah, and and that was it. We started working, working our butts off,
Nice.
Getting this going, and it's been amazing. It's been a struggle because we opened in August of here at this location, August of 2019.
And 6 months later, something happened.
Yeah, so we've been open
Yeah.
longer during coronavirus here than
Real
before.
normal time.
But yeah, back to the dream. So that that's pretty much it. This has been something I wanted for probably 10 years, and when it happened and we got this brewery, it's just.
Yeah.
I was the other day, so we just picked up this 2-barrel system that you can see behind us.
Ooh, fancy.
And we're setting that up. We had the electrician in here, and
Yeah, I see that new Blickman system over there.
yeah, it's nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is the first time it's been officially said too.
Ooh.
We haven't.
Oh.
It's not on. It's
There
not
you go.
It's not on any media.
Everyone knows now.
Everyone knows.
Breaking news, breaking news.
Breaking news.
Got the scoop.
Wait, you?
Releasing tomorrow.
We're gonna put it. It's gonna be on Hop Culture. And
Yeah. Everywhere.
Yeah.
But yeah, we had the electrician in here, finishing up and it's just, I had so much excitement running through my body. I was like, all right, here we go. Like this is the next step.
So you were still brewing on Bob's old homebrew system?
Yeah, basically we were doing like 10-gallon
Nice.
batches.
We should have left it here so they
Yeah.
could see it.
I know.
Yeah.
I know.
So that's amazing. I mean, you're able to have we're going to call it craft beer cafe, and still be able to. I mean, were you doing double, triple batches a day?
So I was triple batching
I wasn't
into
lying.
one.
Oh my
Yeah.
god.
one barrel fermenters, the SS Brew Tech. They have the neoprene jackets.
Yeah,
They've got the chiller coil in them.
Oh yeah.
So I would triple batch into those. Usually I would do.
So were you here 18 hours a day?
So I would do 2 batches one day and then another batch the next day.
Okay.
At like 3 a.m.
Good.
Yeah. Unless it was like 3 Norwegians, which is the Kvike yeast.
Yeah.
I would do 3 batches in a day just because it was like ripping by the time I had knocked out my second batch, and
Yeah.
I was like I can't. This beer's going to be done tomorrow when I come in. So.
Right.
But yeah, it
It fit the bill for what you needed to.
Yeah.
That's good though. So in let's say 18 months that you've been open, I think that's a fair estimate to say, right?
Sure.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
You know, you outgrew the needs for the homebrew system that Bob brought in, and now you're on a how many barrel system?
2 barrels.
2 barrel system.
Yep.
So-
I mean, that's great.
Real
Yeah.
quick, you know, the original plan when we moved into this building, if you're outside, anybody who hears this and they know the look of our building, the building ended up being a great place because we've always been a little bit unique and mysterious. We don't typically do things that other people do.
Yeah, you have a drive-through.
That's right. So
Yeah, I was going to talk about that. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a perfect segue. So this used to be a bank, and we started
Really?
looking. Yeah.
I
we
thought it
start-
was a Dunkin' Donuts. Someone told me this was a Dunkin' Donuts.
Either way.
Yeah. No, bank. Yep.
Rumors.
So it used to be a bank, and the overhang used to be the drive-through for the bank. And when we looked at the building, we're like, oh, it's really unique. The building's super different. If anybody, you know, if you're just listening, there's a lot of what they call architectural windows. The building has these, you know, windows that jut out without glass in them. It just adds a uniqueness to the building. Some people may think it's dated. I think it's just different, which is cool, you know? It was probably awesome in the 70s.
Your brewery
and I'm cool
almost
with that.
looks like no brewery that I know of.
Oh, thank you. And so the overhang,
Yeah,
no,
exactly.
I take that as a compliment. Anything, if anything that's different, you know, is a good thing. So that overhang, we looked at the building and we're like, whoa, there's really high ceilings in there, and there's already footings and posts. Like, will the town just let us, you know,
Go to
put
town.
up some walls? And yeah, they were. The town's been amazing. They amended the site plan to allow us to do that. Saved us a bunch of headaches. It was amazing. Hampton has been, they have been our best friends. We would not be able to do this here without the town.
It's so amazing,
Absolutely.
not to interject, but we have heard so many nightmare stories of towns
Yeah.
being like, we don't want a brewery. It's like Footloose, right? It's like,
Oh, yeah.
we don't want dancing, right?
yeah.
Like, it's
No
like,
dancing.
How could you not want a brewery? I mean, with the amount of foot traffic and community aspect that you'd want. I mean,
Yeah.
if you're a city planner and you don't want a brewery, like,
Yeah.
what is wrong?
It's like, how many Dunkin' Donuts do you want? But you don't want any breweries,
We want
you know?
5 Dunkin' Donuts.
Yeah.
No
So
breweries.
when we went before the town, the only question they had for us was, they're like, okay, well, wait a second. So I guess it's technically 2 questions. They're like, so you want to increase your business, make more benefit for people to visit our town? And we're like, yep. And they're like, okay, we only have one serious question for you. We're like, okay. All 3 of us are like, what's going to be next?
They didn't
Guys
ask, like, can we host my kid's birthday party here?
the guy's like, are you gonna make a good pilsner?
No, no way.
That's
That's
awesome.
And we're like, yeah, for you, yes,
Yes,
we will. Yeah,
yes.
let's do this. Yeah.
Can we talk about this Pilsner? Is it named after this gentleman or woman?
No, you should tell him. You tell him. Let them know what's up with our.
Yeah.
our
Yeah.
lager
Tell us what's up.
program.
Yeah, I want to hear about it. I love hearing.
We've been having a ton of fun with this.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
Yeah, I mean we've got a couple lagers that we've pushed through.
Nice.
So at the
Now, is it easier to do some lagering because you are brewing on a smaller scale, so you have a little bit more tank space here? Where, you know, if your brewery's known for New England style IPAs, you know, you need to get those IPAs out.
no, well,
No,
yeah, I mean, Not
You
really.
can say no. You know, it's no. Yeah.
But so I just wanted to get into a story. So,
Yes, we love stories.
So the last night at Old Whim, we had this blowout party. It was amazing. One of the guys that worked for us, Pete Bresnahan, awesome dude. He worked at Old Whim. He came over with us over here. He went off on his own thing, but that night we were talking and he's just like, you need to brew a lager for Hampton. And we're going to call it Towny Pond Water. I was like, I'll do it.
Okay,
Yeah.
sold.
So now we've kind of got like a series. So we've got, it's an adjunct lager, 10% corn. Other than that, it was just Pilsner malt.
Yep.
Pretty simple. A little bit of Tettnang.
Just
nice.
Tettnang for
All the good
bittering.
stuff,
Some Tettnang at like 10-minute edition. Super easy drinking beer. But we went from the Towny Pond Water, and then we did it's TPW lager. But Alex wouldn't let me call it Towny Pond Water. He thought it would offend.
Well, we couldn't. We had a hard time agreeing over water and wada.
I like wada.
I like
it would
wada.
have to
Yeah.
be
Wada, right?
Yeah.
Towny Pond
Yeah.
Wada, right?
Yeah.
But I didn't.
I guarantee you, no other brewery has that name.
I'm like,
Yeah.
That's true.
I'm like,
That's
we just
true.
can't do the AH thing. You know what I mean? Like,
Not yet.
Why not?
we'd have to. We're a few miles too far from Massachusetts to have the
Oh, come on.
lobster thing going on.
Get the
That's all.
fuck out of here.
Ryan lives in Salisbury, and he drops
This is how he
there.
sounds.
He's
Yes.
there. You're close enough.
Yeah.
Exactly.
We're not close.
This is how
enough,
Seabrookers talk. We call him
is.
Bubba Tut.
Oh my God.
I lived in
Bubba's.
Seabrook for a year.
He's a.
Oh, yeah.
right.
That's a brookie, dude. He knows what's up.
Don't even know.
So I am curious though. So Whim closed its store Old Whim. You were calling it Old Whim. I'm gonna call it Old Whim. I like that.
Yeah.
Old Whim closed its store. What end of 2018, beginning of 2019?
No, we it was
Right before.
July. We were down for 5 weeks.
Okay.
Wow,
Whoa.
man, good for you. Jeez,
It was
tough.
pretty hectic.
Yeah, no kidding.
Yeah, we have always been. One thing that makes us a really great team is we're always challenging each other, and this was one of those challenges. We said, hey, let's do this. Let's try and do this in this amount of time. And we set a date, and we missed the date by 1 day because of Aquarian water.
Thanks, Aquarian.
Yeah, thanks a lot. Well, we did get the
Gosh.
yeah. So on the
Our water bill just went up.
right.
Yeah.
They're like, wait a second,
Hey,
your BOD numbers are you've been
Off the
being
charts.
undercharged. Yeah. So they dropped a on the day that we were supposed to open. This is a great story for the podcast because there's a ton of our friends helped us out. On the 23rd of August, they dropped an E. coli warning in the water, and we had prepped all of our food, washed all of our vegetables, everything. So
you
Oh my
poor guys.
God.
Holy shit.
instead of opening on the 23rd,
jeez.
we threw everything away and we started chasing down all of our friends that had breweries for water. And Great Rhythm hooked us up.
Yep.
We got jockey boxes from breweries with kegged water. And we brought in kegged water and we had kegged water on draft. We had it
was awesome.
the jockey boxes in the kitchen. So we washed all of our vegetables and everything with kegged water, and we opened on the 24th, which is a huge accomplishment to our staff. They did an
Damn.
amazing
That's
job.
awesome.
It is awesome to hear that the craft. I mean, we hear these stories in Massachusetts all the time, and we hear them in New Hampshire too. It's just it's awesome. I mean, it's really cool.
The community in the craft beer industry is amazing.
Yeah, it was amazing.
Absolutely.
It made us feel really good to know that we were accepted, by our peers, and it was awesome.
You mentioned searching around, the Seacoast for the perfect spot. Is Hampton home for either of you? And Bob, where's home for you? Where'd you grow up?
So we're all from. Well, Matt and I are from the Seacoast area. We both grew up in Raymond. My father lives in Greenland.
Yeah.
So I lived in Exeter for a little while. So all over
Was
the
it in-
Seacoast. I live here in Hampton now. So honestly, we probably could have been in this building a few months earlier, but I did feel a little guilty about bringing it up. I drove by it every single day looking at it like, oh yeah, that'd be an awesome place. But I never brought it up because I thought it was a little selfish, you know?
Because you lived in the town.
Yeah, I lived like
I
2
could
minutes
drive
away.
5 minutes. Yeah.
Yeah.
So when we were in our doldrums after missing out on this first opportunity to look at, Matt and I are sitting around with long faces. Alex kind of sidles over and says, there's this building on Route 1. I drive past
my house.
I drive past it every
Ride a
day.
bike here.
Yeah.
And Matt and I kind of shrug, and I say, well, see if I can get us in. And we got in.
One of the things that kind of blows my mind with breweries, right, is there are so few breweries off of a major highway. I mean, Route 1 is a major highway. It goes from the tip of Maine to the Key West, right?
Florida? Yeah. Right.
So was that strategic? I mean, did that just happen since? I mean, how many breweries do we have to go through? Take a right at Elm Street, and 500 feet, take a right onto Monroe Street.
Too many.
You're in a perfect location. There's so much foot traffic, especially during beach season and so on and so forth.
Definitely.
I mean,
Yeah, thank you. It's nice to know that other people think this is a good location too. I do think that, from being in the industry for a while, when we first opened, when we were in Portsmouth, we were in a very, very unique space. Quite honestly, it was a challenging space because of that. And I'm not sure, had any of you guys ever been to Old WHYM?
I had not.
Yes.
No.
You've been there, yeah? Okay. You
Yes.
look really familiar. You've been in a few times?
A few times.
Okay.
His
Yeah.
face is
He has
just.
a
But
face.
that's just my face.
Oh, I never forget it. I can never remember a name. We'll see. Well, were you spilling drinks there?
We're trying to sell
No,
that.
I was not.
That's what I recognized.
We're trying to sell that face on OnlyFans, and he won't let us.
But we were in a really unique location before, and that was kind of the thing. When you look back at that 2010 to 2015 era of craft beer, there was an exclusivity that was a part of it. Part of craft beer drinkers that I don't think is completely gone, but it is not as strong as it used to be, was that we only trust each other. We only trust each other to tell us what's legit. So we were able to be in very unique places. And I started to see, as it became more, as craft beer became more adopted, people were caring less because more people were having options. So you didn't need to have such an obscure location.
Be cool or whatever.
yeah, totally. So that was part of, that's part of it. And a lot of our,
Look at
we have
Portland, like Industrial Way. I mean,
Yeah.
those are not the sexiest of locations, right? I mean, you go to
Right.
what's it called? You go to any of them right there, Austin Street. I mean, their other location is so much more beautiful than the Industrial Ave one. It's like,
yeah.
no, that's a huge. I agree.
Yeah, so it wasn't as important. I think early on when I was thinking about it, I was probably thinking about more obscure locations to kind of continue on with that. But, it's not as important anymore as it used to be. And I think the convenience of it, because I think the future of craft beer is definitely more localized.
Definitely.
And these types of locations, I think, lend better to that.
Yeah.
Agreed. So not only are you guys serving amazing beer, we got to sample some pretty dope cocktails. And you have great food
And they have
here
food here
as
too.
well.
Thank
yeah.
you.
So before we get into the amazing food that you guys have here and some of the craft cocktails that you have here, let's hear from our sponsors.
Are you a solo artist, band, podcaster, or anyone else who needs recording services?
Well, we got a place for you where your vision can become a reality.
Welcome to Small Pond Studios, built by hand with heart and sweat equity by musicians for musicians.
Go to smallpondstudios.io to reach out to get more information. And make sure you let them know that Brew sent you. Hey, Sound Guy Ryan here. Didn't know if you heard, but we're a part of the Hopped Up Network. There you'll find other informative podcasts about beer. So go ahead, follow them on social media, and visit them on their website, hoppedupnetwork.com, to learn more about the people, beer, and breweries from around the country. And until next time, thanks for listening. Cheers.
So we're back. Erica, I've been enjoying this. What maple? Can we talk about this for a second?
Imperial Stout.
Yeah, I recently got vaccinated, and probably not a good idea to drink.
It's actually the best idea. It's recommended.
The CDC.
Yep.
Do not listen to this. I should preface it by saying the CDC does not agree with this, but my CDC says you should probably drink with the COVID vaccination. But that's not the only thing you serve is amazing beers. I mean, the beers
cocktails,
that you're drinking,
which we've sampled 3 of them.
Yeah.
Delicious.
Delicious. And the food here.
Which we haven't had yet, but we plan on.
Yeah.
So I'm sure it's amazing.
We're going to be eating here.
Yeah.
Let's talk about it. You coming from the food industry, Alex, was it important to have that food aspect with the beer?
Yeah, you know, actually quite the opposite. When we first started the business, I knew just how challenging, you know, a restaurant,
brew pub kind of a thing.
Yeah, you know how difficult that is. And so I wanted something a little bit more simple. And once we started really getting into our food, into a groove of creating items, that was probably midway through 2013. So about 6 months after we opened, I started saying, oh, you know what? I actually feel really good about serving amazing food. And I started taking a lot of pride in it, much like the rest of the things that we were doing. And that's where it started. So once I started feeling a sense of pride, I couldn't get enough of it. You know, I wanted us to keep doing better. And right now, our chef's been with us, I think, for close to 5 years, if not more. Awesome. His name's Hunter Doolittle. We have an amazing team of family members and friends. We're all family here, and everybody works really well together. There's no... when it comes to the menu, which is really great, there's no ego. It's about what's best. Like, hey, let's break the mold. Let's try some crazy things, and if they work, cool. And if they don't work, no sweat.
Well.
You know,
I have to say that the stout mac and cheese that you guys have on is like chef's kiss.
Oh,
and I mean,
you.
like to hear, like, I mean, you're using
Thank
the
you.
beer ingredients to.
Yeah.
It's so good.
Yeah, we try to incorporate beer wherever we can. Beer is a very it is a very tricky thing to cook with. You know, contrary to popular belief, people think, you know, put beer in it and it's better. And that's not
it's not like using cheap wine and like your
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
So that is all. It's all experience and trial and error. No one goes to school to learn how to cook with beer. You know, we just try the most ridiculous things that we have ever, you know, that we can think of and see if they work. And if they don't, I mean, I think we tried sucking egg yolk out of eggs and filling it with beer and then hard boiling them.
Oh my God.
You know, yeah, we did that. You know,
How did that turn out?
they came out all right, but they were a ton of work and they were really difficult to do. So, you know, just experimenting things like that.
What
If
did
someone
you
has
even call those? I'm just curious.
I don't even remember. That was many years ago.
See, that's like a $30.
Yeah, we did.
there.
We did
Yeah,
one
yeah,
with
yeah.
Innovation I love
Yeah.
to hear though.
we did one with the best one was with sriracha, and I can't remember what beer. I think we used I can't remember what beer we use.
Listen,
but
like I
It's awesome.
kind of want Guy Fieri to come here, but I don't. Like at the same time, it's like
Yeah.
such a
Yeah,
conflict
right.
of interest because like I could hear him being like, "Bro,
We
egg
do.
with beer,
yeah.
cool." Like, it's so
Yeah.
stupid, but it's like that's
Yeah.
the type of innovation I think people are like afraid
They're
to
missing,
do.
yeah,
You know, it's
yeah.
like, that's cool. Good on you
Yeah.
for
You know,
to
hey,
do that.
you know, what do they say? What do they say? The only person who's failed is the person who never tried, right?
Yeah,
Exactly.
So, yeah, that's it.
Well, you're trying.
Well, thank you.
You're welcome.
I think we're all trying. We're all doing okay. We made it.
That's
man.
awesome,
We made
though.
it.
Do
Yeah.
or do
You
not.
know, we did. We're on the other side now, and I think that things are going to get better here with COVID. So
For sure.
I do too. I
Definitely, yeah.
agree. So COVID is a perfect segue. Obviously, that impacted your business plans. I'm sure for sure. You being fortunate enough to have a restaurant on site, how much did that impact business?
Yeah, what
to-go
changed?
sales? What changed for you?
Fortunate, huh?
I mean, in Massachusetts, there were so many breweries that were open that did not have food, and they had to adapt on the run. So it's good that you were able to probably still sell food
With your beer.
We had to adapt on the run pretty much. We were back in March 16, talking with the Chamber of Commerce about an upcoming Business After Hours event.
Mm-hmm.
The news hit, and we went back and forth with them about that. Like, is it safe? Is it not safe? Safe. And we said, nah, it's not safe. Let's not do it. 2 days later, we were shut down.
Oh, jeez. Yeah.
And we were shut down for 2 months.
Mm-hmm.
That's tough with like a newer.
And we had to then adapt with a to-go menu. At that time, we couldn't sell beers to go.
Yeah.
And you guys had draft accounts, I'm sure, from other breweries, right?
We had to return a lot of beer.
Mm-hmm.
And our distributors were great to us, absolutely great in accommodating us and our vendors. Everybody knew it was,
What it was.
wartime, basically.
Yeah.
And everybody had to hunker down. What we didn't realize is that it was going to be this way
For so
for a
long.
pandemic
Yeah.
for so long.
Yeah.
And we have adapted. I mean, you guys could speak to that, how we did it, day in and day out.
Yeah, I think, what was most important, and, it's weird because change is really difficult for people. And I think that that's the biggest, the biggest challenge for people with COVID is change. It's just your everyday life changing. And because we have such a, we're so open to trying new things and our business is constantly changing. Our branding's changing. We're just like keeping things fresh because, we're here, we live it. It's just like anybody else. When you go, Bob was saying, you want to go to work and do something you love. We all work here. We're here every day. We're working and we want it to be fresh and fun and enjoyable as well. So I think our team and our staff, they were so open to the change and so accepting because that's kind of how we roll. And it was
So you set the team up for success.
Well, no,
the business model.
I don't want to say us, I think the culture, our team already lived the culture of change.
Yeah.
So it wasn't as big of an impact as it was on some businesses. You can walk into some businesses and they have, the same 4 beers or the same menu for the past 10 years.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that can be that can be really difficult for people to come into work and and all of a sudden have your whole life change. We're always changing a little bit here. So I think it was a little bit easier for them to go with the flow of change.
Yeah.
And what it was a big rallying cry for staff and our team, viewing it as a challenge rather than, a gloom and doom situation. We really did adapt to our business model, set people up who were going to do deliveries of takeout. We probably went from, cranking along saying, just got to get into the summer. It's going to be our first summer here. It's going to be great. And then boom, to where we had revenues drop 95%.
Oof. Well, congrats.
It's
you
an
guys are still
inspiration just
here.
to kind of hear that you guys are still here, hearing that 95% of the sales.
Yeah, it's wild, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
we have
crazy.
we have an amazing team. I mean,
Yeah, I mean, we're all here because of the people that work for us. While we're on here, I'd like to shout out to our entire staff. Kevin Group, who runs our bar program, which our cocktails. Kevin has been kind of
Those drinks were dope.
They
Just have to
were
say,
so
Thank
good.
you. Yeah, him. Our other bartender, Shannon. She's a great mixologist. So these guys, they just kill it. And the thing is like we talk about change. They love that too. They love it to be fresh. They love the idea of being able to be creative. Nobody wants to go and live the same
Right. You want
day
something
over
new
and
once
over
in a
again.
while.
But I think
Yeah,
the
yeah,
thing
yeah.
that's cool about you guys is you are being fresh, right? But like, we had a drink that was a amped up whiskey sour, right? And it's not like you were like, I'm gonna take whiskey and I'm gonna put toothpaste in it, right? Like, something stupid like that. Like, you're willing to take those risks, but like you're taking calculated risks that like are gonna.
Everybody knows. Anyone who comes into our kitchen knows. Do not ever suggest putting Brussels sprouts on our menu because hey, they're awesome and people love it. Love them. We get it, but we're not doing what everybody else does. That's just it. We don't want to do what everybody else does. There's other people that do it. When I go out, I want to be excited to go somewhere else but WHYM, because they have things that we don't.
Yeah.
And we want to offer that to our customers as well. We want to offer something different and we want to, experiment and use people's talents. Like we have a lot of talented people and going through the pandemic, our staff talking about all these people, they just, they took all of their skills and applied them every day, and to 110%. You didn't survive through this showing up half to work.
Yeah,
Definitely.
And
nobody did.
no one did. Yeah, there's no free passes, and our staff definitely didn't get a free pass. They worked really hard, and it's been amazing to be a part of.
Wow,
It's cool to see a little bit of something for everyone, really. People who like beer, people who don't like beer.
Yeah.
They have the food options, so it's good.
it's just very cool to hear that we hear a lot of breweries say, our staff, but it shows, here.
Definitely.
I follow you guys on social media. I know what you guys have been doing. I remember when you opened and being like, what is this place? What is WHYM, right? And being in the scene and knowing what craft beer is, and then really kind of just figuring out that, wow, you guys are doing things that are pretty substantial and still paying homage to the breweries that you love and keeping consistency with the food that you're serving. So that's pretty awesome. There are a lot of breweries who brew beer excellent, right?
Yeah,
There's so many breweries out there, you can name them off the top of your head. But, when it comes to hospitality, when it comes to food, when it comes to, the space that it comes to, typically one of those spaces is lacking. I think that you guys all execute on all of them reasonably well,
Well, thanks. I think that, we have an amazing team between the three of us, and we all bring different talents. And I think it's really important for everybody to, I've always said, like, you're not going to send a Porsche, to take the trash out, and you're not going to take a dump truck to the racetrack. You really,
that would be
could
awesome.
be fun, you guys.
Let's watch a
I'm
dump
just
truck
saying.
race.
it could be awesome, but
It could be a train wreck.
Right.
But the thing is people want to do what they're good at. They want to feel good at, what they're producing. And I think that we have so many people that have talents that are able to, to express them.
Yeah.
And that's
not only talents, that the talents complement each other.
Yeah.
There's an integration.
It's diverse.
Yep.
Definitely.
Yeah, diversity and talent. Yeah.
I'm curious about the beer that you guys are serving here. What's the flagship? What's the beer that you guys are known for? Tiny Pound Water.
Is there a flagship?
There really isn't. I've only brewed the same beer twice here. So.
Oh, okay. Nice. So lots of variety.
We got two really popular beers, though.
Yeah, we do. I'd say like our two most popular beers are Emerald Weapon, which is a double IPA.
Yep.
Okay.
You guys just missed that.
Yep.
I think it kicked like last week, but that one's a double IPA. Dry
You brewing
hopped.
it again?
Oh yeah. Well, yeah.
This will be your third one.
Yeah, we're doing like a weapon series. So there's Emerald Weapon,
Cool.
Diamond Weapon, Ruby Weapon, Ultimate Weapon.
Nice.
Final Fantasy.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
Right.
That's awesome.
I didn't want my
That's
fans
awesome.
to think I was that much. Better,
I'm just
but I know.
playing 9 right now, by the way. It's pretty amazing.
And well,
Leftover Fireworks is another big one that's going to be coming back.
Leftover Fireworks. Yeah, that one is another one that we brewed a couple of times, and we kind of brew that along with the big events. Anytime you'd be shooting off some fireworks.
Yep.
So like
4th of July.
after a couple
Yeah.
of weeks after 4th of July was the first time
Whatever.
we brewed it, and it just stuck around.
There was no rules in COVID, so you can whenever you want to shoot off fireworks, you could.
Exactly.
Yeah. But really, like for the brewery, we're experimenting. We're having fun,
awesome.
That's
trying
awesome.
out. Like we're not
You're small, so like you can. You're not like distributing.
exactly.
You're not doing anything crazy yet. So
How
Yeah.
is this not a dream come true for Bob and Matt? I mean,
Well,
honestly,
and that's the thing. It's
brewers.
just like we can try different yeast strains,
Yeah.
try different hops. Like we're
that's cool.
some things that are a little bit harder, like getting a hold of decent hops can be a little bit harder on the small scale.
Yeah.
But other than that, like we can we have the quality background. I have the experience, and the experimentation background from home brewing, and it's been so much fun because we do it on all fronts. We do it with the food side, we do
Beer,
it with
the
the beer
drinks.
side, with the beer. Like it's just we're having fun the whole time, but we're not afraid to experiment a little bit.
And what he's not saying is Matt's like 100% or nothing. Like it's got to be like
Right.
nothing. If any ingredient or any part of the process isn't where he wants it to be, within some of the things that he's learned throughout his career to be able to adjust them, he knows what he can and what he can't, and he'll just say, no, it's not.
That's such a
nope,
huge,
not going to work.
That's such a huge feather in your cap because there are so many breweries out there.
They just push
that
it anyways.
will push it out,
Yeah.
they'll add an adjunct to it and say, "Oh, this is perfect. This is what we intended it to be like."
Nah.
And you respect your patrons enough to be like, "No, this is not what we want." So
Yeah.
awesome for you for doing that.
Yeah, we try not to dump beer, but
No, trust
It's
me, I
happened.
hear you.
it happens.
He's not going to say
We
that
know.
about himself,
We know.
but it's true. He's yeah.
Shit happens.
Yeah, shit happens, Eric.
But we're also lucky in that, our whole philosophy of trying to be creative, trying to be adaptive, and trying to be local kind of dovetailed into these times because that's exactly what the consumer is looking for.
Yeah,
Definitely.
They want it to be fresh. They
Yeah,
want it
good
to
point.
be new,
It's true.
and we've got the ability to be nimble, particularly with our brewing.
yeah.
So, the days of a brewery having, a flagship and 3 other beers, those are gone.
Yeah.
And unless there's such a big gap between the hyper-local brewery and the behemoths,
Yeah.
even in craft beer, we're not going to see another Sierra Nevada, another Lagunitas.
Completely agreed. That
like
was
the closest
they
thing
caught
is like
fire in that time period. Good for them, but
closest thing
that's
is like
not going to
Treehouse,
happen.
or-
Yeah.
The bridge to get from the local brewery, even doing 25,000 barrels, to where those guys are, it's just too big a capital investment
Yeah.
gap, and the consumer is.
Completely inundated with
Yeah.
a
There's so
bajillion
many
other options.
So what
Right.
what are they going to
Yeah.
do? They're going to look to local
Yeah.
because that's where their vibe is.
Man, you
know,
couldn't have said
that's-
it better. I've been looking for somebody to state what you've said for, I think, the last year of the podcast, and you said it so eloquently in 4 sentences. I mean, the customer wants to support local. There are so many options. You go to the Packy in Massachusetts, and you look at. It's overwhelming. I mean, there's 72 different IPAs out there, and you're like, how do I know if any of these are good? And then you look on Untapped, and you're like, oh man, some asshole did this at 1, and you really don't know what this is. It's like,
Well, as it becomes more and more hyper local, it also represents the area better.
correct.
Definitely.
And that's what it's
Definitely.
coming back to. I mean, any history lessons,
It
breweries
used to
were
be
called
just like
common
that.
houses.
Yeah.
And that's where
Yeah.
people
Every town had their local brewery,
Exactly.
and
We just brewed a beer called Saison de Lane Memorial, and that's our local library.
oh, cool.
So
Cool.
if anybody listens to this, get out there and support your libraries. They're being hardly affected through this as well, and not super talked about. But yeah, that's all I have to say about that.
So I hate to ask the question, but I always have to ask it. What's next?
A lot.
Boom.
Oh man, how much time do you guys have?
Don't show all your cards, but
We're working on the 7-barrel brewery.
Nice.
Matt, why don't you give them a quick rundown of how we ended up down here? We're sitting down here with a brew house that was never supposed to be downstairs.
Oh, really?
'cause
Because
you-
I
because
love
of
this
COVID.
space.
Yeah.
This is
Oh,
great.
thank
I
you.
saw the
Yeah.
pictures that you did the collab with Wandering Souls, Matt Smith.
Yep.
That was not in this area, was it?
Yes,
It was.
It
yeah.
was?
Oh,
Yeah.
that's awesome.
It was on the
Different. Did you
little
guys-
the little system. Yeah.
Aw,
Yeah. The little
cute.
baby system. Matt's awesome.
He really
He's
is.
the best.
Yeah.
We love him.
Yeah. Originally, when we got in here, we started working on plans to build out the backside of the building. So you saw that little drive-through. We were going to enclose that, bump it back 10, 15 feet.
Man, you're probably glad you didn't do that with COVID now, right?
Well, we invested a lot of money into just getting those plans
Yeah, of
pushed through, and now we're at a point where, it's coming up on 2 years since we got
geez.
approval.
Yeah.
We wanted to move a little bit faster, but obviously coronavirus had other plans. But what we're going to do this summer is start breaking ground on it. So it's
Nice.
we're just kind of slow rolling
Yeah.
it. So that's gonna be a big thing.
And that's to expand brewery space.
Yeah. So it's gonna be
Awesome.
the plan is to put a 7-barrel brew house
Oh,
in,
you look so excited for it.
because we wanna have beer, and we want to be able to can some beer like on this
That's cool.
on this size. Like, we couldn't do it. We couldn't
Yeah.
get Can't really get a mobile canner down in the basement. It'd be interesting.
And they're
Really interesting. They might,
Yeah,
you know,
I'll have to see a try.
You see like a row of cans like going up the stairs
Yes,
around the corner and
yes.
out the door.
You're like, can I
know?
do
Love
a
that.
quadruple batch in one day?
And the logistics of brewing in a basement are a little challenging because there's 55-pound bags of grain that have to come downstairs,
Right.
and there's like 100-pound bins of spent grain that have to go upstairs.
Even just traveling water down a little. Yeah.
Oh yeah, bringing kegs
And-
up and stuff like
You know,
that.
and
Yeah.
we can't like roll in, you know, a little canning line, even if we had the capacity. I mean, there's just no way.
Yeah.
The whole reason we got the 2-bar brewery, it's what fit through the door.
Yeah.
This used to be a bank.
Yeah.
The basement and a bank have these cement walls.
Yeah. That's where
Really?
the safe word.
Yeah, there's 2 safes in here. Yeah,
Yeah, we have 2 vaults.
Vaults.
There's one in the back down here, and there's one upstairs in the back of our
Nice.
kitchen. The one upstairs in the back of our kitchen is our baking and prep area.
Cool.
One down here is dry goods storage. But they didn't even bother to take out the frame. They took out the doors, but the frame
Yeah.
of these die bolt,
So your dry goods are really safe.
they're very
yeah.
safe. And you really know how scary it is because when you see that they've actually labeled a little hole in the frame, and it's called air. Just in case you get
Cool.
trapped inside the vault.
yeah, there's a little
Breathe
thing that you
through this
pull and
hole.
turn. And,
God.
yeah, just in case.
Holy cow.
Good
So
to
it
know.
was a real vault. So again, the logistics of we were toying with like, let's put in a bulkhead, you know, and it's just not going to work. So we're going to really focus on getting this brewery done upstairs.
That's awesome.
That's
Yeah,
cool.
and
we also have
people-
we'll be maybe the only seacoast, you know, al fresco restaurant. That's going to be a
Right.
huge thing
That's
for
coming.
us. All of our glass
This summer.
upstairs when you came in and you saw all of our glass windows on the 2 sides of our building. We're having all that taken out and we're putting in collapsible folding sliders. We want this
Nice.
entire place to feel outside while you're here.
Yeah,
So
definitely.
yeah, it's going to be really nice and open and relaxing, especially post COVID.
I was
People,
gonna say people want
Yeah,
that,
yeah, yeah.
right?
Praying for that.
Yeah.
yep.
Yeah, that's cool.
But yeah, and maybe I'll get some floor drains at some point.
Yeah. Careful what you wish for. I mean, I don't
Right.
know.
Anybody brewing into, you know, all your waste gets caught in a bucket. Like, you can't have any water on
That's
the
how it
floor.
works, right?
Can't even
What a-
imagine what that's like.
What a crazy idea.
I know.
I'm certainly excited for what's next for you guys. I think our listeners are definitely gonna be
Definitely.
excited.
Yeah.
But we want our listeners to come to this location. I think people are going to be looking for excuses to come up to the seacoast. Go to the freaking beach and then come to WHYM after, or go before. Who
Yeah.
cares? Get lubed up and then go to the beach.
Oh yeah.
I like that idea.
Oh yeah.
I do too.
Let's go to the beach right now.
It's a little cold.
Oh, is it? Okay, sorry.
Can we roller skate on the boardwalk?
Yeah.
All right, we'll do
Okay,
that.
cool. Great.
So, where are you guys physically located?
853 Lafayette Road in Hampton, New Hampshire.
Right off of Old Route 1, kid.
Yep,
Yeah.
we're right off Old Route 1. We're right off of 95. So actually, major 95 101 junction. So if you're passing through, going east to west or north or south, we are on the way.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Really great location.
And
as you
social
mentioned.
media, where are you guys located so our listeners can follow you?
One more time.
Social media.
Social media.
Oh, social
you at?
media. Sorry. WHYM.beer on everything.
Nice.
Yeah, so I would definitely encourage our listeners to come out to WHYM because
They got a little of
the
everything.
food, the drinks, there's something here for everyone. So if you have that significant other who doesn't like beer,
We get it.
we get it.
Come
Mine
here.
doesn't.
It's a little weird, but we get it.
Yeah,
we
it
got
is a little
cocktails
weird.
too. We
Yeah.
got
I give her
cocktails
crap all the
too.
time
Yeah,
about it.
yeah.
I'm like, you're going to love this one.
Yeah,
He never
cocktails,
loves it.
wine.
Cocktails, wine. I mean,
We tried 3 of the new ones. They're so good.
great food.
Yeah.
And you know what? It's honestly awesome to see that the 3 of you are able to just work so together. And the one question I just want to ask before Erica asks her favorite question is to Matt and Bob. I mean, was this what you envisioned? You know, Bob, when you said I wanted to open my own brewery, and Matt, when you said you wanted to open your own brewery, I mean, is this outside of your wildest dreams?
Well, it's definitely better.
Yeah.
You know, I was looking at
definitely.
a little tap room that, you know, I was going to have like spinning hot dogs and maybe meatballs in a crock pot.
Yes.
Meatballs are good.
So that I could serve beer. So yeah, no, this is a lot better.
Cool.
No, this has been an amazing experience. You know, and going back to the 3 of us, like we're a great team, and it's the only way we've made it through coronavirus. It's it's been an amazing time.
Nice.
And to Alex, you know, working at Walmart logistics to
To this.
owning a brewery, I mean, dream come true for you?
Oh yeah, I mean, more than that, you know, I think I live. Oh man, I live every day like it's a dream. I'm excited for the future. Everything's tomorrow, right? Like what's next. So I'm really happy to be working with these guys. I couldn't imagine a better team of support. Like I feel like we're on the same page about so much stuff, and when we're not, we respect each other so much that it's easy to figure things out. So
To disagree.
yeah. So it's been awesome, and it's more than a dream. Anybody who's in this industry, in the restaurant or brewery industry, and you have customers that are just they're off and they're in that moment and they're laughing and enjoying themselves. That's really what
That's gonna be a
makes
good
this.
feeling. Yeah.
Those are the days that you stand back and you go, "Oh man, all right, we're doing something cool, man. We're doing this is working." So
That's awesome.
yeah. So thank you to all of our continued followers and fans and stuff as well.
Erica, shoot away.
Well, we like to end all of our episodes with this question: what are you most proud of? Yeah, no, it's as wide open as you want it. Just
That's super
come
easy
at
for
it.
me. I'm absolutely, without a question, I'm most proud of my wife and children.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Cool. Good answer.
Man. All right. Well,
You guys at the table.
Well-
I mean, you're most proud of the microphone you're using. It's
Thanks,
cool.
Alex. Now I can't go home.
Yeah.
Right? This is what we do. That's how I set them up.
now,
That's how
well,
I
I
set
mean,
'em up. No, I'm all right. I'm going back. I'm going back. I'm
that's
going
hard
to tell
to
you.
follow, Al.
No, my most favorite, my greatest accomplishment is beating Emerald Weapon.
Dun,
And that's going to be tough for my kids to swallow someday.
That is a tough one. That is tough.
man. Yeah, I'm proud of so many things. I'm proud of opening a business. I'm proud of having an amazing wife that it's a nurse, an oncology nurse over at Exeter Hospital, Megan.
Whoop.
Hey, Megan.
You're the best.
I have a beautiful daughter,
Yay.
7-year-old daughter who's so smart, and I love her to death. But I'm all those things. I'm proud of these guys sitting next to me. Proud of Alex for bringing this all together. He's kind of the main driving force. I'm proud of Bob. Bob's, like I said, he's just an amazing resource. He's a very intelligent man, and
Also, good on Bob saying that he wants to retire and work in a brewery.
Chose this instead.
and if you need to get things done, he knows what he's doing. He was a lawyer for many years.
Is he for hire? Can we
But I'm proud of this team. I'm proud of our family. Our team is family. Behind the scenes and upstairs, those guys are all family to us. We've been through so much. But yeah, I think that's it.
That's well said.
Yeah,
That was well done.
That was very nice.
I think he topped you, Alex.
Thank you.
I know.
Yeah, and I think you did a really good job.
Bob.
Let's see what you got, Bob.
Sorry, Bob.
All right, here we go. Do you need a minute or need
First
a
of
minute?
all, I'd like to thank my agent
I'd like to thank God, too, and my agent.
and the people in the academy.
Yeah.
Yes,
They've all been
yes.
so good to us.
Ryan, play the music. Play the music.
Oh, wow. Where do you go from there? I mean, of course, family. Blessed with a wonderful wife and 5 children. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fine. Okay, cool.
5 grandchildren,
great.
and
Nice.
and just the serendipity that kind of brought the 3 of us together. I'm really proud of these guys. We've been through so many challenges that would have crushed a new business, essentially.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Because we reinvented WHYM down here in Hampton to bring it to a take what Alex had built over 5 years and take it to another level, which is what we all wanted.
Yeah.
And to get it to this level to where we not only have survived the pandemic, but we're actually making progress while the pandemic is going on. It's just simply amazing. It's a credit to these 2 gentlemen.
Big credit to you.
Yeah.
That was beautiful.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it was.
That's a tear right there.
Thank you, gentlemen, for doing this today. I mean, I love learning about what you're doing. We don't always interview a brewery, brew pub, restaurant, and we get to learn about the side of the business because it's an important side of the business. I mean, in Massachusetts, New Hampshire, you don't always see the brewery pub side of it. I'm a little bit more
Definitely.
common in New Hampshire, but this is a common thing that's exists across the country. You talk to breweries in Texas, you talk to breweries in Oklahoma, wherever, so on and so forth. This is the model that is allowed in their states. So it's really awesome to hear that you guys are thriving and doing well. And we wish you all the success in the future.
Oh, thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
Yeah, and likewise. This is really cool, and we appreciate you considering us.
Anytime.
Oh, absolutely.
And this was awesome.
Anytime.
You guys make a great team as well.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
You know, they're on the other side. If you're a listener and you listen to this, these guys have a great, you get great charisma between each other.
Yeah, we try to. We all hate Ryan, but
We do.
still,
We collaboratively just.
Yeah.
I'm okay
Yeah.
at best.
yeah. But I think I'm gonna have to eat like 10 pounds of
I'm
mac
ready
and
to
cheese.
eat. I've
and,
had a couple beers, and I'm ready for some food.
I think we
Balance
are.
that all out.
So
Cool.
yeah, cheers.
Cheers, you guys.
Cheers.
Cheers. Hey, everybody out there in podcast land. This is Matt, and to my right is Erica. Yeah, behind the glass is sound guy Ryan, and we have an awesome episode for you next week. We're not gonna give you a sneak peek, but follow us on Instagram and Patreon. You know the links, but in case you don't, it's Brew Roots on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook, and Brew Roots Podcast on Patreon. I didn't take a breath.
It's great. Ryan loves it. Look at